Welcome to Your Time with Doc Squid. I'm Dr. Anthony Fantona, and this is...
Michelle Fantonda.
Well, today we're talking about books on our website, growthhabits.online. And the one in particular today I'm so excited about, and that is 10 ways to boost your self-confidence.
Most of us think that it is a difficult thing, and a lot of people suffer from the fact that they have a low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-value, and low self-confidence. And so I found it very valuable for just to give you 10 pointers on how you can overcome and boost your self-confidence. And the first one in the first chapter is visualization. How are you seeing yourself, and how do you overcome the poor self-image that you have, and how do you actually put it into a more positive self-image of yourself?
I'm going to take it that there will be practical ways that you'll ask us questions so we sort of can check and gauge where we are.
And tools on how to actually take, for example, what is visualization? How do I see myself at the different steps? How do I take the bad picture that I've got of myself, or the poor self-confidence picture I've got of myself, and turn it into something that's not egotistical,
Okay.
but a little bit more stronger opinion from a positive perspective of yourself.
But now, once you've got that visualization going, what about getting out of that comfort zone? Because I can tell you, man, confidence, even when people think I'm confident, I'm not. To get
True.
out of that comfort zone.
You know, so many times, and it's so true what Doc Ant is saying, is that the second chapter is how to get out your comfort zone, where your comfort zone is and how to get out of it. And so often when we're about to go on stage and talk or something like that, it like literally it can be like 2 seconds before we go on stage, and then suddenly your self-confidence just goes. What do you do in circumstances when that actually happens, and what are your tools that you're going to use when you find yourself in that situation?
Well, thank goodness, not only do we have to struggle through ourselves, but we also can take wisdom from other great leaders in society. And I know that Dr. Bradley Stewart is one of those people adding value through what you've learned and shared.
Immense value. So a challenge, one of the challenges we have, which is the third chapter in the book, is how do you go through the rejection challenge? Now, Dr. Bradley Stewart, as you've mentioned and alluded to, he's written an amazing book, and I will put here the link to access his book that you can get on Amazon on overcoming rejection, because that's most of us suffer from rejection.
I just want to be straight at you. It is something that has changed my life, because I realized that from a young age I suffered heavily with rejection, and through Dr. Bradley Stewart's teaching, I was able to overcome that.
Yeah, you were. No, seriously.
True.
And then how do you pronounce the gentleman's name? As Jai Jung?
Jai Yang.
Jai Yang. He actually came up with this concept of a 100-day rejection challenge. So in that chapter, we challenge you how to go through it, how to overcome it, and how to face those rejections.
Now, will this in any way maybe help others? I'm just curious.
Well, first of all, if you want to give love to someone else, you have to first learn to love yourself.
Okay.
So when you're starting to boost your self-confidence, you are going to be able to overflow onto others. But I have a chapter that specifically focuses on, if you want to overcome your low self-confidence, the way to do that is actually to help other people.
Oh, wow.
Physically help other people. Go and take a granny shopping or something like that, because what you're doing is, when you put value into someone else's life, that value comes back to you in the boosting of your self-confidence.
I can't help thinking, but I've got so many flaws. I mean, I'm not a perfect human being. I try, but I've got so many flaws.
We do. We all have flaws. And the best thing is, in the chapter that I talk about flaws, is yes, we all have flaws, and it's to understand that you're not the only one with flaws. So why should you have a low self-confidence if you think that you're a bad person, or you can't do this, or you can't do that? And it talks about how to overcome and recognize your flaws and use them as your strengths.
Very interesting. So I can't help thinking now, is there an equalizer in some way?
You know what? The number one reason why many people have low self-confidence is because they boost other people unnecessarily. They put people on pedestals. So we need to learn the art of, yes, you have got a PhD. I don't have a PhD. So does that make you a better person than me? No. So when you're now helping others, your confidence goes down, and you equalize human beings just because someone has a PhD and you don't have a PhD, for example, just using that as an example, doesn't mean that you're a more esteemed person than I am. And so we've got to learn to see everyone as our equals.
You know, I hear you, but somehow there's this little voice in my head, this little thing on my shoulder says, no, you're not that good, you think.
Absolutely. In that chapter of overcoming your inner voice is the chapter that will help you to recognize the lies that you've learned to tell yourself. How do you press that tape recorder as pause? How do you rewrite that story? So for example, my dad always used to tell me I was stupid, and I believed I was stupid, so hence my school life was terrible. I couldn't amount to anything. But today I sit with a PhD because I rewrote that, not like I am not stupid, because your brain will still hear the word stupid.
Correct.
It is, I am intelligent, I have great conversations, and you rewrite that and you start telling your inner voice, and the more you come with the positive affirmations, the more your inner voice of that negativity goes down.
Well, you obviously realize that you have got talents, because let's face it, God has gifted you to be who you are, and you have major talents.
Yeah. And there's a chapter there that will help you to identify your talents, how to
Okay.
utilize your talents to your strengths. So for example, somebody with low self-confidence could have the most amazing voice to sing.
Yeah.
But they might not function anywhere else. So what they say is, go to a music teacher,
Voice
go
coach.
and voice coach. There we go, and sing, so that when someone else tells you that you've grown and you're looking great and or your voice is coming out beautiful. Yes. So the moment someone compliments you, you start receiving it, even if it's in a small area of your life. You could cook beautifully. That's not something that I would bake or something.
No, hold on. You're a great cook, you just don't enjoy cooking.
There we go.
Yes.
You see how the inner voice just kicked in there, and how you rewrite the story. So it's a beautiful example. So yes.
For sure. But you know, it's like taking a look in the mirror. I mean, do you like what you see? I'll be honest, sometimes I go and look at, how can I even be loved? But that's that little voice that takes it away. So that perspective of who you are in the mirror, how do we deal with that?
So we've often seen that picture where you've seen the little kitten looking in the mirror and they see the lion in the mirror. So what is your reflection? So when you do look in the mirror, how do you rewrite the story? So I remember when I was starting to lose weight, when I was really, really, really overweight, and I would look in the mirror and I would say, fit, slim, and looking good. Okay, so you start telling your affirmations to the person in the mirror until you start laughing at yourself, because you feel like, this is so silly, this is so stupid. But that chapter shows you how to really look in the mirror and make good decisions on yourself.
Awesome. So to round all up, what when there was the last chapter in the book? Help me.
The last chapter, believe it or not, that boosts the individual self-confidence is knowing what clothes to wear. What is your style?
Okay.
So for example, yes, exactly. So for example, let's say for your style, and I just absolutely love my Pilates instructor. Her style is ski pants, tackies, a nice little shirt. Winter she has a little top on, but that's her style, and she's confident in that style. Okay, so so if your style is baggy pants and big shirts and tackies, is it the right style for you? And if that is your style, are you wearing it with confidence that people look back and say, gosh, she doesn't look like a slob. Man, I love her style. So the confidence is, yes, don't go and dress who you're not, okay? But dress in your style, so your style gives you confidence.
Wow, I want to thank you so much, because you see, I can't wait for you to go and read this book, growthhabits.online. Go and register and be exposed to this book, because guess what? We all can do with 10 ways to boost our self-confidence.